Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio August 27, 2024. You may have the feeling that things are out of control. If you open up to all that you are feeling, you may become afraid or overwhelmed. It may help you to do some grounding exercise in order to remind yourself that you are in a human body. The regularity with which you exercise will affect the degree you feel overwhelmed in your life. Drinking plenty of water is the second half of the exercise equation. Be aware that your body may need more minerals and vitamins, depending on the stress level you experience. Things are being confirmed, dear. Today you can still influence events, structure your thoughts well and harvest the fruits of your efforts. Your family and friends will support you in the projects and new responsibilities that are yours. So, don't make concessions and concentrate on your projects. If you want good results, this is the perfect moment to finish up a job or project. As the dwarf planet Ceres spends her final day in retrograde motion in your relationship sector, and the Sun enjoys its first weekend in your communication sector while Venus experiences her last, having the Moon in your friendship sector, brings all three together. Last week, Venus formed a friendly aspect to Ceres, and the Sun is just days away from doing the same. With communication and relationship dynamics already working closely together, the Moon's presence unites them all to foster a positive day for building friendships and relationships. In a case of perfect timing, it is just as the dwarf planet Ceres has come to a standstill in her last full day in retrograde motion in your relationship sector that the Sun is spending his first and Venus, the planet of love, her last weekend in your communication sector. With Venus separating from a friendly aspect to Ceres, the Sun just days away from doing the same and even the Moon helping out, this is a special day when it comes to giving your relationships, the past and unsaid words, a voice. With a Venus-Neptune trine influencing the first half of the day, it's a time for fully recognizing inner and spiritual values. Boundaries between you and others tend to soften, and bonds can strengthen. Gentleness, compassion, and warmth are the routes to happiness. Energies shift considerably as the day advances, and you should watch for defensiveness and sensitivity. Consider this a time for the motivation to plan more responsibly or clearly as Mars and Saturn form a square aspect. You may be dealing with communication or transportation delays, but while they appear to set you back, they may very well point you in the right direction. You might now notice details you missed due to your haste the first time. Finish up those things that need a little more attention rather than pushing ahead. Aim to tie up loose ends and avoid speaking too soon or too impulsively about a matter. Your ability to take criticism may be tested, or you might wrestle with your inner critic. Conflict terrifies you. In fact, if your intuition even senses it in the slightest capacity, you will be the first to slip into the shadows in the middle of the night before anyone even realizes. The entire week ahead will bring dramatic challenges for everyone to face. But for you, it is important to listen to what your gut instinct is telling you. Someone may be out to hurt you and your relationship or tarnish your name with lies, gossip, or secrets that rise like phantoms in the night. The worst part about it is that you may never know who let it slip or had it out for you in the end. War. On projects that make you feel confident. Focus on your creative pursuits, professional self-expression, and ideas when Venus in Cancer forms a watery trine to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. You might discover another side of yourself as you work on tasks that make you feel creative and inspired. Neptune retrograde is revealing yet another layer of your professional identity, which might be connected to your skills or passion projects. So, it is important to enjoy whatever you are working on by adding your unique flair to your projects. Our eyes in the sky. If you find yourself more alert than usual tonight, try not to worry. Instead, see this as an opportunity, a moment when your mind might be more open to possibilities. Sometimes, those nights when we can't seem to wind down are exactly when our brains are trying to tell us something. Maybe there's a creative spark bubbling up inside you that's waiting to be explored, Or perhaps there's an issue you've been putting off that's finally rising to the surface. Have you ever had one of those moments where an idea comes to you at the most unexpected time? This could be one of those nights. Take a moment to check in with yourself. What thoughts keep coming back to you? What ideas are trying to make their way to the forefront of your mind? You might be surprised by the clarity that comes when you stop resisting and start exploring what's going on in your head. Sometimes, simply allowing yourself the space to think can lead to unexpected insights. Of course, with all this mental activity, it can also be hard to relax and get the rest you need. If you find yourself tossing and turning, consider trying some relaxation techniques to quiet the mind. Deep breathing, gentle stretching, or even jotting down your thoughts in a journal can help bring a sense of calm. Have you ever tried writing things down before bed? Sometimes, getting those thoughts out of your head and onto paper is all it takes to ease the mental chatter and let you drift off to sleep. Now, with all this buzzing energy, it's important to keep an eye on your impulses, especially when it comes to spending. It's so easy to fall into the trap of making quick purchases when you're feeling restless or overwhelmed. Have you ever found yourself doing a little online shopping late at night, only to wonder the next day if you really needed that new gadget or pair of shoes? The energy right now can make those little impulse buys seem more tempting than usual, but try to resist making any big financial decisions unless they're absolutely necessary. If you do need to make a purchase or financial commitment, take a moment to pause and assess it with a clear head. Ask yourself, is this something I really need, or am I just looking for a quick comfort? There's nothing wrong with treating yourself to a small indulgence, especially if it lifts your spirits. But be mindful of the difference between a minor treat and a bigger commitment that could have long-term consequences. The key here is balance. Gemini energy can be fast-paced and sometimes a little scattered, so grounding yourself is essential. Have you ever noticed that when your mind is racing, it can help to step back and gain some perspective? Maybe that means reaching out to a friend for a quick chat, taking a walk to clear your head, or simply doing something that brings you back to center. Find what works for you, and give yourself permission to take that step back when needed. And if you're feeling particularly energized tonight, lean into it. This is a great time to brainstorm, create, or even just daydream about the possibilities ahead. Sometimes, those late-night bursts of inspiration can lead to our best ideas. Whether it's a new project, a fresh perspective on a challenge, or simply a clearer vision of where you want to go next, embrace the creative energy that's flowing through you. Remember, though, it's all about balance. While it's exciting to ride the wave of inspiration, be sure to weave in moments of calm and mindfulness to keep yourself grounded. Have you ever found that perfect balance between productivity and relaxation, where everything just seems to flow? That's what we're aiming for tonight, a harmonious blend of creativity and calm.